Okay, so good morning to everyone. I hope most of you have joined the class, so let's begin. Yes, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we have learned in our previous class, can you tell me? Yes, let us have a recapitulation. Okay, cell organelle.
What endoplasmic reticulum.
Yes, very good. So in our previous class, we have learnt about the yes, correct, very good. So cell organelles. In the cell organelles, we have learnt about endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus, right? So what is this endoplasmic reticulum? Yes, it is the network. Okay, it is a channel that is connected to other cell organelles which is present in a cell. So it helps in the transport of the substances. Okay, so we have learned that it helps in the transport of the substances which is produced in the cell. Just a minute, some of them they're joining. Stop chatting in between. Okay, I hope the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, endoplasmic reticulum, it is the network or the channel which supply the or transport the substances to other part or the other cell organelles. Okay, so in this we are having two types. So can you tell me the two types of endoplasmic reticulum?
Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum.
Very good. So
And
that
smooth.
is yes, smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. So how can you differentiate these two?
Has ribosomes and smooth doesn't have ribosomes.
Very good. So ribosomes are attached to rough endoplasmic reticulum, whereas it is absent in smooth endoplasmic reticulum, right? Then what is the function of these ribosomes? These are the site of something? Yes?
The factory of proteins.
Yes, these are the site for the manufacture of proteins, right? So those proteins are manufactured in ribosomes and those are transferred or supplied by the endoplasmic reticulum. Then we have learned about Golgi apparatus, but before that, what is the main function of SER, that is smooth endoplasmic reticulum? What is the main function?
To manufacture fat molecules and lipids.
Yes, very good. Apart from that, there is one more thing related to poison and drugs.
The dioxide.
Yes, it detoxify. Okay, it detoxify the poison and the drugs. Very good. Now, Golgi apparatus. Who discovered this?
Camillio Golgi.
Yes.
Camilo Golgi.
Yes, Camillo Golgi. Okay, so he was the person who discovered Golgi apparatus. So Golgi apparatus, it is having the shape of disc. Okay, it's like a disc structure which is parallel to each other. It's like the coins are placed one above another. Okay, and at the end we are having round structure. Now, what is the main function of Golgi apparatus? I think there are three important functions of it. Can you tell me?
Storage, modification, and packaging of products.
Yes, very good. It helps in the storage, then modification and packaging of the products. Right. Okay. So in today's class, we are going to learn about some other cell organelles. So let's begin with lysosomes. Now, these lysosomes, it is quietly, you can say, it is having a unique feature. What is that? Let's see. So see, it is the lysosome. Okay, it is having a ball-like structure. Okay, it's like a ball. Um, Lysosomes are membrane-bound sacs filled with digestive enzymes. These enzymes are made by RER. Okay, now lysosomes, it is having the outer layer called as membrane. Okay, so in the figure you can see it is having an outer layer which is called as membrane, and in these lysosomes it is having the digestive enzyme. Now see the word digestive enzymes, it means it helps in the digestion of the food. Now these enzymes, they are made by whom? RER, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Next, Lysosomes are a kind of waste disposal system of the cell. It helps to keep the cell clean by digesting any foreign material as well as worn out cell organelles. Okay. Now see, as I said, that it is having a unique feature, that is lysosomes. It helps in the waste disposal. Now in the cell, if any waste product is formed or it is produced, that has to be disposed. So that disposal work is done by whom? Lysosome. Okay, so lysosome, they are waste disposal. Okay, it clean the cells. Okay, or any other foreign materials, if it enters the cell, that is disposed by lysosomes. Or if there any damage in the cell, it is disposed by lysosomes. Next, foreign materials such as bacteria or food which enter the cell as well as the old organelles end up in the lysosomes, which break complex substances into simpler substances by digestive system. Just a minute. There are some students who are joining. Okay. See, there are some foreign materials like bacteria or food or some old organelles are there. Okay, so those organelles or bacteria or food, those are waste disposal. Okay, means those are disposed by the lysosomes. Okay, so how it takes place? Lysosomes break the complex substance into simple substances by using digestive enzymes. Okay, now if there is a complex product, that product is broken down into simple one by using the digestive enzymes, and this whole process is carried out by lysosomes. Okay, now the next point, when the cell gets damaged, lysosomes may burst and the enzymes digest their own cell. Therefore, lysosomes are known as suicide bags of the cell. Now, it is like one more question. Which cell organelle is called as suicide bag of the cell? Now, lysosomes, what they do if the cell gets damaged? Okay, at that time, these lysosomes, it bursts up, okay, like a balloon, okay, like a balloon, it bursts up and it digests the cell. Okay, the cell which is having lysosome, and when if any rupture or any damage or any issue is found in the cell, so at that time what happened, this lysosome, it blast off, or you can say burst up, and it will digest its own cell. So because of this feature, it is known as suicide bag of the cell. Okay, so this is all related to lysosomes. um, just a minute. So next is mitochondria. Okay. Now this is the structure of mitochondria. Just have a look. Okay. So mitochondria are known as the powerhouse of the cell. The energy required for various chemical activities needed for life is released by mitochondria in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate molecules. ATP is known as the energy currency of the cell. See, now in our body, there are several biochemical processes that are carried out. Not only in the body, in the cells also, there are various activities, that is, biochemical activities are carried out. Now, to carry out this activity, we require energy. Okay, so this energy is supplied by which cell organelle? That is mitochondria. So mitochondria, again, this is one more question. Which cell organelle is known as powerhouse of the cell? The answer is mitochondria. So mitochondria, it supplies the energy to the body as well as to the cell to carry out the activities or the reactions or the processes within the cell or within the body. The energy which is supplied by mitochondria is in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. Now this ATP, it is also called as energy currency of the cell. Now we are using currency, right? That is money. Okay, so it is same as over here, that is energy currency of the cell. Next, mitochondria has two membrane coverings. The outer membrane is porous while the inner membrane is deeply folded. This fold increase surface area for ATP generating chemical reactions. Now see here, there are two coverings. I hope you can see this orange color outer covering. Okay, so this outer, the this is called as
Yes, sir.
outer membrane. Okay, so this is called as outer membrane, whereas the inner white one, okay, it is called as inner membrane. So you can see that outer membrane, it is smooth one in the sense it doesn't have any folding, but it is having so many pores, that is so many small holes are there. But inner membrane, it is having so many foldings. Okay, so you can see that there are so many foldings are there. And at the folded area, okay, at the folded area, this ATP is generated. Okay, this ATP is generated at the folded area. So over there, some chemical reactions are carried out. Okay, so this is regarding the membranes. So once again regarding membrane. So mitochondria, it is having two membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane. Outer membrane, it is simple and it is having so many pores, whereas inner membrane, it is having deep foldings, and at the foldings there are it is the site for the generation of ATP. Next, the body uses energy stored in ATP for making new chemical compounds and for mechanical works. Now, our body, we are using the stored ATP. Okay, the ATP which is stored, energy which is stored, we are using it for what? To carry out the mechanical works and to carry out chemical compounds, that is the reactions which is taking place in our body. Next, mitochondria are strange organelles in the sense that they have their own DNA and ribosomes. Therefore, mitochondria are able to make some of their own proteins. See, we know that we are having our own DNA, right? There are so many organisms are there who are having their own DNA, right? Similarly, mitochondria, it is having its own DNA and ribosomes. Again, this is one mark question which is very important. Name the cell organelle which is having its own DNA and ribosomes. Okay. In previous cases, we have learned endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus, right? So those cell organelles, they don't have their own DNA and ribosomes. Okay, they don't have their own DNA and ribosomes. Whereas mitochondria, it is having its own DNA and ribosomes. Okay, and mitochondria, it can synthesize their own proteins. Now the next thing, plastids. Okay. Now, what is this plastid? You have learned about this in 8th standard as well as in 7th standard. Can you tell me what is this plastids?
So plastids are present in plant cell.
Yes, absolutely correct. Very good. Plastids, they are present only in the plant cell, whereas it is absent in the animal cell. Can you tell me why it is so?
Sir, they contain chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll, very good. Suppose if we have the plastids, then if human beings or the animals, they have the plastids in their cell, then what will happen?
Sir, even we will start producing chlorophyll.
Yes, so even we can prepare our own food. Then we are not supposed to dependent on other organisms or other substances to take the food, right? So plastids are present only in the plant cell. So you can see here is a picture of plastid. Okay, so plastids are present only in the plant cell, whereas it is absent in the animal cell. Now there are two types of plastids. Just a minute. Again, some of them they are joining. Okay, there are two types of plastids. First one is chromoplast and second one is leucoplast. Chromo means colored. Okay, chromo. See the word chromoplast. Chromo means colored and plast means plastids. And whereas leuco means white or colorless. Next, just a minute. Chromoplasts. These chromoplasts, they contain the green pigment called as chlorophyll, okay, which are known as chloroplast. Okay, so we have learned about this chloroplast in our previous classes, or you might have learned this in 8th standard. So this is the pigment which is present in chloroplast, which carry out the important process in plant, that is photosynthesis. So with the help of photosynthesis, plants can prepare their own food. Okay, so it is the special feature of chloroplast. Then chloroplast also contains various yellow or orange pigments in addition to chlorophyll. Okay, now there are some other plants are there which are having different color. You might have seen there are some plants which are having yellow color leaf or orange color leaf. Now why they are having those colors? It is because they are having different pigments. See, chlorophyll, it is green in color, right? Chlorophyll, it is green in color. Because of that, the plant is green in color. Now the plant which is having xanthophyll, okay, xanthophyll, it will indicate that the plant is yellow in color. Okay, so we are having so many pigments. Based on that, the leaf color is decided. Next, leucoplast. Leucoplast are primarily organelles in which materials such as starch, oils, and protein granules are stored. The internal organization of chloroplast consists of numerous membrane layers embedded in the material called the stroma. These are similar to mitochondria in external structure. Now you can see that there are some granium are there. Okay, there are some structures are there which is like a disc of or the pile of coins. Like one coin is placed other. Okay, so like that a structure is over here. So this is called as granum. Okay, now this leucoplast, it is having one important function. What is that important function? That is storage of starch, oils, and the proteins. Okay. Again, this is one more question. That what is the function of leucoplast? Leucoplast, it stores the starch, oil, and proteins. Okay. Then it is having so many, that is numerous membrane layers which are enclosed. Okay, enclosed means which is present inside the stroma. So here you can see stroma is there. In the stroma, there are so many membrane layers are there. Okay, so that is called as granum. Now, chloroplast, it is resembling as mitochondria. Why it is having the same structure like mitochondria? Because it is having two layers. See here, outer membrane and inner membrane. In mitochondria, we were having outer membrane and inner membrane, whereas in endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus, they are having only one membrane, right? So, my plastids and mitochondria, they are having slightly similar structure. Then next, like the mitochondria, plastids also have their own DNA and ribosomes. See here, plastids, they are also having their own DNA and ribosomes as mitochondria was having. Okay, so there are totally two cell organelles which are having their own DNA and ribosomes. That is plastids and mitochondria. Okay, I hope it is quite clear up to here.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay. Now next thing is vacuoles. Okay, so this is the structure of a vacuole. Okay, if you have the textbook, just have a look at the picture. There is an animal cell and plant cell. Okay, animal cell and plant cell. Now vacuoles are the storage sacks for solid or liquid contents. Vacuoles are small in size in animal cells, whereas in plant cell they have very large vacuoles. So it is a common difference. In the animal cell, the vacuoles are small, okay, whereas in the plant cell, the vacuoles are very big. If you just compare those two pictures in your textbook, if you have the textbook, just have a look over there. You can see that the vacuoles are bigger in size in plant cell, whereas vacuoles are smaller in size in the animal cell. Next, the central vacuole of some plant cells may occupy 50 to 90% of the cell volume. Okay, now see, in the plant cell, The vacuole occupies about 50 to 90% of the space. Okay, if vacuole is present in the plant cell, it will take means it will occupy or it will take around 50 to 90% of the space. That much big it is. Okay, so out of 100, it will take 50 to 90% of the space. Next, in plant cells, vacuoles are full of cell sap and provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell. Okay, so what happens in the case of plant cells? The vacuoles, they are full of cell sap and provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell. Rigidity means stiffness. Okay, that is solid. Okay, it provides the solidification type, like solidity to the cell. Turgidity, it's like liquid which is stored in a balloon. Okay, so bouncy type. Next, many substances of importance in the life of the plant cell are stored in vacuoles. This includes amino acids, sugars, then various organic acids and some proteins. Now, most of the substances are stored in the vacuole, which is important for the plant cell. Okay, so the substances which are stored in the vacuoles are amino acids, sugars, and some organic acids and some of the proteins. So these all substances, they are stored in the vacuole, which are very important for the life of plant cell. Next, in single cell organelles like amoeba, the food vacuole contains the food items that the amoeba has consumed. Now we have learnt about single cell organelles, that is unicellular. Okay, these unicellular organisms like amoeba, they are having the food vacuole which contains the food items. Okay, so this is consumed by the amoeba. Okay, we have seen the process that amoeba, it captures the prey, that is the food, and that food is converted into what? Food vacuole, which is used by the amoeba. Next, in some unicellular organisms, specialized vacuoles also play important roles in expelling excess water and some waste from the cell. Now, there are some unicellular organisms, okay, if they have the waste material in the cell, okay, if they have the waste material in them, that is their body, then what they will do, they will remove that waste with the help of vacuoles. Okay, if there is excess water is there, if there is a huge amount of water is there in the body, that is removed out from the body by the vacuoles. This thing can be found only in the unicellular organism. Okay, so each cell organelle acquires its structure and ability to function because of organization of its membrane and organelles in specific ways. The cell has a basic structural organization. This helps the cell to perform functions like respiration, obtaining nutrition, and clearing of the waste material or forming new proteins. Thus, the cell is the fundamental structural unit of living organism. It is also called as or known as the basic functional unit of life. Now see, each and every cell, we have learnt about different types of cells at the beginning of the chapter. So each and every cell, they are having their own function. Okay, they are having their own function and they are having their own structure. Okay, and they carry out various reactions in the organs. Okay, that is cell organelle, they are having their own function. See, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, liposomes, Golgi apparatus, plastids, vacuoles, these all cell organelles, they are having different shapes, different functions, okay, and they carry out different reactions. So these all things, they are very important for a living being to carry out the various activities. So this cell, they perform various functions. They carry out respiration, they carry out nutrition, they carry out digestion, even they carry out excretion. So that is cleaning the waste material, or they form the new proteins also. Okay, so because of all this, the cell is called as what? A fundamental structural unit of living organism. or it is called as functional unit of life. Okay, so because of this all things, it is called as basic unit of life. Okay, so next part is cell division. Just a minute. Okay, so any doubt till now?
No, sir.
Okay, I hope you are understanding. Okay,
Yes, sir.
now this cell division I will discuss in the next class. Okay, but before that you have to just make the points. Okay, the question is differentiate between plant cell and animal cell. Can you tell me now? I will ask you some points. Just tell me in which cell plastids are present.
Plant
And
Plant cell.
okay,
Plant cell.
very good. Okay, now in yes, in which cell is having the cell wall?
Plant.
Yes,
Cell.
plant cell.
Animal cell.
No, it is present only in the plant cell, not in the
Plant cell.
animal cell. Yes, yes, very good. Now,
Cell.
which cell is having the smaller vacuoles?
Animal cell.
Animal cell. Very good. Okay, very good. Now just have a look at the pictures, that is plant cell and animal cell. Now tell me which cell is having the centriole? Centriole. Just have a look at the picture.
Animal cell.
Yes.
Animal cell.
Animal cell is having the
Animal cell.
centriole, whereas it is absent in the plant cell.
Plant cell.
Okay, very good. Okay, so you have to differentiate between plant cells and animal cells. Okay, so write at least minimum 5 points regarding that. Okay, if you do have any problem, just let me know. In the next class, we will discuss about the cell division. Okay, in this we are having two concepts, that is mitosis and the meiosis. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
okay.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Yes, bye. Yes, bye bye.
Bye, sir.
Yes, bye.
Bye, sir.
Yes, bye.
Bye, sir.